When I went to high school, I had a teacher in the arts who was head of the department at Central High, William Gray, and gave a course in architecture, the only course in the high school, I'm sure, in Greek, Roman, Renaissance, Egyptian, and Gothic architecture. And at that point, two of my colleagues and myself realized that only architecture would be my life. How accidental our existences are, really, and how full of influence by circumstance.
Here at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the world's great architects, Professor Louis Kahn, teaches and creates.
Show you some sketches I made when I was in Rome.
Then, in 1951, he was invited to be architect in residence at the American Academy in Rome and to travel throughout the ancient world. What he saw changed his life.
Sketches I made a long time ago. Egypt, you see.
Timelessness. Monumentality. That's what mattered. When Lou got back, he finally knew what he wanted to do. Build modern buildings that had the feel and presence of ancient ruins.
Richards Medical Research Building, called by the Museum of Modern Art in New York City, probably the single most consequential building constructed in the United States since World War II. It is principled, vigorous, fundamental, and exhilarating. This building is Kahn's greatest achievement.
People come by all the time with their cameras taking pictures of this awesome architectural wonder. And we just sit upstairs in the window and laugh at them because it's not a good place to work.
I don't feel comfortable in my room, in my lab. The temperature is not constant.
Temperature is not constant?
Yeah.
I don't like that birds fly into the windows and get killed.
I mean, it's not a pretty building, you know what I mean? It doesn't have a good looking architectural to it, you know what I mean? It needs face. Something different, maybe paint the pillars a different color than the building or something, you know? I mean, something to give it a little pizzazz instead of, like I said, look like a bomb shelter.
For my moving years to warm. If only I could live to see the dawning of the dawn.
To express is to drive. And when you want to give something presence, you have to consult nature. And there is where design comes in. If you think of brick, for instance, you say to brick, what do you want, brick? And brick says to you, I like an arch. And if you say to brick, look, arches are expensive, and I can use a concrete lintel over you. What do you think of that, brick? Brick says, I like an arch. And it's important, you see, that you honor the material that you use. You don't bandy it around as though you said, well, we have a lot of material around. We can do it one way, we can do it another. It's not true. You can only do it if you honor the brick and glorify the brick instead of just shortchanging it. To have approval on a new element is a great feeling. It's because it isn't just a copy of what has been thought to be what's necessary, and when it's accepted, it feels as though you're an architect.
I must have met your father. Some AIA affairs. And I sat right next to Lou. And I praised him in the Richards Laboratory. I thought that was really a marvelous group of buildings. And it was then that he told me, you know, go to Scotland.
Really?
You know that?
No,
The
I didn't know.
Scottish castle gave him the inspiration.
For Richards?
Yes. And I said, that group of buildings are really one of your best. Then he said, well, the best is yet to come. That was Saul. So he told me about his relationship with Saul. He said, I have the best client. And he said, well, I feel somehow that this will be an important piece of work. And as it turned out to be. And I consider it to be a masterpiece of his.
The two of you have varying degrees of success with clients. You seem to have succeeded very well.
I am. But I'm a little bit more able to, a little more patient, perhaps, because I've been Chinese. If my client, let's say a person, did not agree with me, I'll let it pass. And I'll come back another day. I don't think Lou would do that. Lou would probably push it right through. And then when he found a client that is sympathetic, it's a client for life. No? And I don't think I could claim that. On the other hand, I probably lost fewer clients than he did.
Oh, way fewer. I think you've built way more. You've had way more success rate in terms of your buildings that you've
success.
No?
Building 3 or 4 masterpieces is more important than 50, 60 buildings. Quality, not quantity.